welcome to the dramatic finale of our three-part Dungeons & Dragons mini-series starring Mark Humes and friend of the show, Philippa War, alongside myself and Quentin Smith. Thank you for joining us thus far. Thus far. It's a fun thing to say, isn't it? You can say that. And there'll be other fun things being said in this video, which I'm going to leave you to now. Don't really know this intro is here. It's better than a hard cut straight into it, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Maybe not. Bye.
The other one that was caught in the trap just drops its club and just looks at you in horror.
Good.
As this enormous, terrifying nature wizard rips out his friend's throat.
Having finished loading my gun, I'll look down there and just shout, I think it's time we have a chat!
I'll do a thumbs up towards you in the hill.
The last
There is a
remaining
guy.
one, basically the one that you hid from, he sees what's going on and he begins legging it back up the trail towards the villa.
Can I...
He gets about 60 feet. He's at the very top edge. He just runs. You
right.
get a free attack against him as he
reasonable.
runs past you, not knowing where you
Can
are.
I remember the rules for incapacitating someone. Can I just have a pop at, like, just tackling this guy?
You can just try and grapple him if you want, or if you want to try and knock him unconscious, you just do a weapon attack and just say you don't want to kill him.
Okay, I just hit him really hard with the back of my battle axe. Classic Gimli style.
So he doesn't know where you are, so you have advantage.
Yes, sneak attack as well?
Because you're using the battle axe, it's not a weapon you can
Oh,
use.
well, can I just use my sword, quickly drop the axe, grab my sword, whack?
Yep. Yeah, that's basically the way you can do it.
That's advantage?
Yeah, it has advantage, and you will do sneak attack if you hit him.
That is a 20.
I'm going to say with the sneak attack, which you would also double, so you would actually roll 4d6 sneak attack plus double
Oh,
the weapon.
God,
Yeah,
really?
You double all dice in critical hits in D&D. You just step out of the shadows, bonk, and he just collapses
He's
to
the
the
most
ground.
unconscious anyone has ever been.
Yeah, he has a past life vision while he's unconscious.
We are rolling all of our 20s now, aren't we? Yeah.
Yes,
And
you
then
are
it'll be
getting
like,
them out.
and now there is an owlbear, and your gun will explode.
Still not long ago playing Blades in the Dark and someone rolled 4 ones. And we all just went, right.
That feels normal.
Well, you guys, you are now out of initiative. The combat is finished. You have one man who has just surrendered to Sean. He holds his hands up, trembling. Please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. The other one is unconscious, face down in the kind of wet sand of the beach lake.
Do you have the manacles?
I do.
Okay.
I'll walk down the hill jangling them. Right, it's Christmas.
Yeah, Kennington makes his way down. You can see that the sacks that they dropped have spilled out. And there is things like you can see rich silk clothing, a couple of candlesticks and plates, like silver forks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll pick my way over the bodies, but I'm going to be keeping these treasures, which we intend to return to our employers, separate from the ones that I stole earlier.
Okay, so you want to keep those separate, so you keep them. So you know.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that all this stuff can be returned to them.
The actual fellows themselves don't really have a lot. Maybe picking across all their different pockets, there's probably about 6 gold amongst all 5 of them. Like they've got like 2 or 3 here, and on different people. They carry rusted short swords, clubs. They're not wearing any armor. They don't really have anything particularly valuable. The masks you can see have been made from cloth, kind of almost like a sack that they put over with clay bits on them, and then it's covered in like this dried seaweed to kind of give it this very fishy smell.
Would that be the
appearance.
seaweed that fell off earlier?
You suspect it probably is, yeah.
I think we should take one each.
What, the masks? It can be useful. Yeah, sure, have one. Knock yourself out.
Disguises.
Yeah, to get into the cave, right?
Oh, is that where we're... Oh.
I'm assuming so. We need a head.
You can see the one who's
So the
still
monster
alive.
tracks still go into the cave?
Yes. Sean followed them, and it leads to like the edge of the lake.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the tracks disappear, but you saw what looked like a little cove just a
Yeah.
little bit further down.
It would take me a little while to get there, which is why I didn't.
Yes.
Right.
It's not like 20, 30 minutes.
Appreciate it.
Certain people.
Otherwise, I would have been shanked. Do you want me to take a look at that, by the way?
I'm going to have a chat with this.
He looks up at you. He's like, "Please,
I've got
please,
medicine,
sir.
I believe.
I didn't mean to do it.
I've
They
got-
made me.
Who made you exactly?
Salandra, she's a witch.
Wait, Salandra.
Yeah.
Salandra wasn't the woman who was bossing around?
No. She's her name is Leonie. She's a farm girl. She's been learning under Salandra. Salandra's a witch, and she ensorcelled me, and that's why I did it.
Right.
Feels
It is
like
the least convincing lie you have ever seen.
What? Just the sorcery bit? Or yeah.
Yeah, she made me do it. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that we were stealing from that man up in that house.
I'll just put the rifle of the musket up to his chin and say, well, let's not be having any more lies, shall we?
Very good, sir. Very good. No, it was she. The nobles. They were all trying to buy up all the land, and Salandra wants it. She wants it to be free, and she said she'd pay us if we did what she said, and we'd just escort the big bear, the big bear owl.
Owl
Beautiful
bear.
bear. This is your.
Interesting.
This is I love it when you get ones like this. Just tell you everything.
Please, but you're going to let me live, right?
Well,
I just told you everything.
manacle time?
I'll say. Listen, what?
Yes, he looks at you. Good dwarf, please. One of the elder folk. You won't let him kill me, will you?
If we hand this guy over to the Maidstone magistrates, then they're going to put him to death.
Okay.
I'll say if he's no mastermind. He's someone who got involved in something. I don't know. I think I have a sympathy for
But he was
another
taking
rogue.
things that didn't belong to him. And at lunch, when we were in town, that's a thing that you did.
Yes, Sean.
So what's the difference between what he's doing and what you did?
Well, there's not an awful lot of difference, Sean.
So is he our friend now?
Yes.
Does he
yes.
come with
I'm
us?
the friend. I'm the monster's friend.
Look,
Please, monster.
I'll say, like, for the crime they did, I feel like, and I'll be counting, it's like 3 of the 5 of them being killed for killing 1 guard. That seems about right to me.
Very right. Yes. Good odds.
Where's this?
He starts crying. He just starts openly weeping. Just like, no,
Oh,
please.
for the love of! Listen, where is this creature? You walked. I'll give him a slap. Where is this creature?
Cave. There's a cave just on the lake. There's a small cove. An old place. Cylindra found like some sort of chamber. It was hidden. We can't go inside. Only she can. She's crazy. She talks about the sea and the old laws and the fish, the creatures rising up from the lake. It's madness. She's crazy.
Does sound a bit, yeah.
Maybe if we get him to take us there and then we'll figure that out and then he can just go because he's a chatty Cathy.
That sounds like a reasonable assumption. Look, let's just get rid of this man. Look, let's just let him go. You can walk the other direction. If I ever see you again, I'll shoot you.
You won't see me, sir. You won't see me ever again.
Just go and yeah.
My leg. And he's trying to get the bear trap off.
I'll say.
I paid good money for that bear trap.
I'll open the bear trap for him.
He's like, thank you.
I'll say this other one, and I'll.
He starts dragging him.
Okay, fine.
We'll never see us again, sir. Gone far from this place. And he's dragging him up the hill.
Those guys weren't so bad after all.
Maybe we should have hired him. It might have been cheaper than
We
that.
could have used him as bait.
Extortionate halfling.
We don't want because what if people find out that the Monster Hunters Guild is working with criminals? Probably good for the economy, but ultimately bad for.
I don't believe my character would believe in rehabilitation.
No.
It's just like, no.
Which is a shame.
I'm glad. I thought that you guys were going to be. I'll tell you what. If we had any paladins or any of that trad D&D nonsense, you'd be like, no, we have to send him to the police.
Yeah, that's why it's no fun having one character who's lawful good.
Yeah.
Shall I turn into an octopus and help us by scouting out?
You want to go into the cave?
Wobbling down the beach
Why do you tend to
for 30 seconds at a time and then turning back.
30 minutes.
Why don't you? Is it 30 minutes?
30 minutes I can hold my breath as an octopus.
An octopus can hold
But
its breath
then I
for
have
30
to go-
minutes.
Look,
Magic octopuses can.
the swamp
okay.
octopus
I don't know.
is fine.
Without wanting to I want to see you be an octopus as much as anyone. But if you turn into
I'm not getting that impression, Quince. I'm really not.
But hear me out. If you turn into a sand flea and then go into
Sand
the
flea,
cave,
not in the book. I've never seen one.
you've never seen one.
No, I have
I'll
to have
find
seen
one.
it.
I'll show you in.
You find a sand flea.
Look at this.
and then
They're a bit larger than normal
Fine,
sand flea,
I
but you can
can
use the stats of a
turn-
frog.
I could turn into
sorry,
a
is that-
lizard or a frog.
Bear with me.
They're exceptionally large sand fleas.
You said they were the size of a frog.
No, we'll use the stats of a frog.
Oh, okay.
But they are probably the size of a large cricket.
That's
Alternatively,
gross.
I could be a mosquito.
Huge.
Oh no, I
Can't
can't fly. I could be a walking mosquito. No, that doesn't work. Pond skater? Fine.
Maybe a frog.
Or a lizard.
Yeah, fine. No, I'll be a frog. Be a frog.
Little lake frog.
It's the answer to everything.
is.
Frog.
It is a
Yeah,
witch.
frog.
What do you look like as a
It
frog?
is a witch's house.
Lovely little frog.
I look like I look like my dragon self, except I've got I'm a few inches long and I've got massive hind legs.
So it's just like a dragon face with like the I love it.
Yeah.
So you hop along, you swim through into the cove. The waves are quite strong, but you know, being a good swimmer, you make your way through, little lake frog. And you see that the cove leads into a small, narrow tunnel that leads into a little sea cave, like a little limestone cave. The water probably comes up to... You're kind of buried underneath it, but you imagine it would probably come up to like your ankle height or something like that.
Okay.
And you can see that there is a stone platform where the water kind of laps against but is fairly dry. And on that there are crates and bedrolls, and you can see kind of what looks like a camp.
Okay.
And there is a tunnel which seems like it's been broken through that leads further down into the cliff face, into the underground.
Okay, I have dark vision as well, so is there anything extra that I would be able to see off the basis of that? Or...
So you can see that there are two body shapes half lying in the water, like face down in the water, their arms kind of drooped over this kind of stone platform. You can't tell if they're alive or not. Dark vision, it's black and white, and you can only really see shades of grey.
Okay, cool. In that case, I think maybe that's all I can really do usefully as a frog, so I can come back and tell you about this.
That seemed good.
Yeah.
We now know there's not an ambush or nothing.
Yeah.
Or nothing.
But before I switch back, I'm just going to show you my standing leap.
How high is it?
Up to 10 feet.
Wow. Can I catch him?
Yeah, sure. Give me a dexterity check. See how.
Yes.
No!
Oh, easy.
Damn it.
Snap it out the air. You got this little black. It's so weird. Like the face of a dragon, the hind legs of a frog.
I'll be looking at it and I'll say,
of a man.
Sean, this is and then
Like,
just as it was going to get weird.
Yeah, just which part you're holding when it changes. There's so many questions with transformation. Let's not go. Let's
I'm curious.
go into a cave.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm quite
Like, if you're
psyched
holding a
because
frog, like, yeah, and then like they suddenly just become a person.
you'd fall over.
I'd go get catapulted backwards.
I think there would definitely be an unbalancing, but you're quite dexterous. So you probably regain it 'cause you're quite acrobatic.
I will tumble acrobatically
Sure, give
in
me
a
an acrobatics
back. Son of a bitch.
Oh, I did it again! Straight into the sand.
What the people at home can't see is that this dice keeps rolling a 17 and then just rocking
boink.
onto a 3.
I love it.
Unbelievably slowly.
I love it.
It's got a good sense of comic
It's because
timing.
it's bigger than a
I like
normal
it.
D20.
They are massive.
Anyway, so I fall on my ass. Okay.
Yeah, you basically get catapulted back as it transforms into a dragon man, and you lose your footing.
I'm fine.
I'll sigh and then put my hand out for Sean to pull me up, and then you probably just look at
And
my
I
hand.
just look at your hand like,
That was the light comedy section of the adventure.
Womp 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 womp.
okay, so I've explained all
Meanwhile,
of the things
I'm in the
that I
background cleaning the
saw.
blood off of my traps.
Water from
Hey.
the lake, just wash it off.
It's our first dungeon together. Dungeon.
Dungeon, yes, dungeon.
Dungeon.
I thought you'd never ask.
Nice.
That was
Say it again.
Yeah, dungeon team. You guys make your way. You have to wade through the lake a little bit, and you make your way into the cove. Sure enough, the water kind of hits to your ankles. Good boots, your feet are kept dry. But yeah, you kind of wade your way through. You can see this stone platform. There is crates, bedrolls, a few backpacks, sacks as well. There are more like sacks that seem to have been
Trombone.
no trombones. Not that you can see anyway. They might be in the sacks. You're not sure. But there is a small, winding, very narrow-looking crevice tunnel that seems to lead further down into the mountains. Or into the lake cliff.
Wait, didn't you say there were 2 bodies here?
Yes, there
Yeah.
are also 2 bodies laying face down into the water, kind of like their arms kind of like just...
I'll lean off the platform and try and... If it's up face down, then I'll try and roll it over.
So as you roll it over, you see a distorted face, probably what was once a woman, but now is kind of almost like a fish person. Like you can see their mouth has kind of deformed, there are jaws, you can see traces of gills, their eyes are bulging out of their head, but you can see that there's like a cut throat, there's bleeding, there's strange like blood symbols like drawn on the robes, and it's just like, it's this disgusting bloated corpse.
I'll see this sign of dark magic and witchery and fishery and just go... is the other body the same?
Yes.
But we don't recognise either of them.
You don't recognise either of them.
What's your stat in Psi?
+4.
Your main
A
skill.
good sigh.
I learned that from Paul. Paul had a doctor in a game I was role playing, Paul Dean, and shut him sit down, and then he just had a character go all the time, and it was consistently great. So this is kind of an homage.
An homage.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, you don't see any other signs of life. There is a blood trail leading down into the frog
crevice.
couldn't see because it was blended in with the stone of the colour, but it is leading down into the crevice. It looks like maybe a body was dragged there or something.
I love in the real world it's like follow the money, and Dungeons and Dragons it's follow the blood. Because chances are it's not money.
Everything's
it's
bleeding all
cults.
over the... Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, you will. I knew I could count on you to
I've
be
got
the
good
adventurer.
boots.
Yeah, you do.
You have good boots. The water lapping
You so
against
rarely
them.
get to properly use these
Men
boots.
like me are afraid of nothing until they die.
Or until they break a leg and then become embittered and horrified.
Just idiots, basically.
The tunnel that you start making
Wait,
your way
hang
down.
on. I can
Go on.
sneak ahead.
You
That
could
makes
sneak
more
ahead.
sense.
Classic D&D.
Yeah? Do you want to try that?
Here I go.
Stealth check.
Is it one dice? I don't know why
Yep.
it wouldn't be one dice. That's an 18.
See, it works in your favour that time.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
totally
5
wobbled on.
and then rocks onto an 18.
You kind of blend in, and as you're kind of sneaking, you know, first of all, the ground is quite wet and slippery. As you get deeper in, the sound of the waves begins to echo, kind of lapping against the kind of stone platform in the cave itself. There's no other real sounds. It becomes quite eerie and quiet. There's no real light. Your dark vision starts to adjust. Just a barest trace of light coming in from the open cave behind you.
Would these guys be able to see?
I'm not sure if they don't have dark vision in their normal forms. They may
No.
find it difficult to see.
I could change into something that has dark vision, and I think one of my cantrips lets me just have
Kind
a
of like
light.
a little light,
Yeah.
yes. You can use like Druidcraft.
I've got a lantern,
Yeah.
but it might be a little...
Well, I mean,
Might be a
I'll
bit
sneak ahead
obvious.
and sort
You can
of...
see what it is. So you make your way through it, and it's quite a winding little path. It takes you a few minutes to kind of, and it's at points you have to kind of turn sideways and shuffle through. It looks like maybe like a natural cut kind of like part of the cave system. But eventually you get to a point where the walls widen and begin to look more worked. Being a dwarf, you recognise that these have definitely been chiselled. They've definitely been created at some point, but it looks old.
Okay.
And eventually you come across a large stone door, like a wall. It's built into the cavern system. There is no obvious hinge. There is no obvious handle. What you see is the relief of a shark's jaws around a central stone that appears to have, it looks like it can be kind of rotated, kind of spun to the side, left and right. And there are 4 symbols on the stone, the middle central stone: a circle, a right-sided crescent, a left-sided crescent, and a blank space.
It's a moon puzzle.
And you can see that the wall itself, the stone door, has lots of different like engravings and like indents and reliefs, all kind of like in this very kind of almost like an Aztec kind of motif, but with this, the main thing is these pair of shark's jaws around the central orb, which you can spin left and right.
I will go back...
Oh, and it looks like it can also be pressed in as well.
Sure. Oh, okay. And it can be indented. Check for traps.
Yes, you can make an investigation check.
When was the last time oh, there's no D&D. They've excised that from 5th edition, huh?
The old, did specifically detect
for
traps.
traps.
Yeah, it's investigation now.
That's a 12 plus 7.
Just a minute. There, you are almost certain that this door has mechanisms behind it. Looking around, you can see that there are some of the bits where it looks like it's part of the carving. There's definitely like long, quite wide, thin holes that seem to stretch into the stone itself. You're not sure, but it looks like something may come out of them. And there is clearly some sort of lock mechanism on the door. There's no obvious way to open it.
Okay.
It's obviously some sort of puzzle or trick to it to open it.
Sure.
And you suspect that with that such a high roll, if you get it wrong, something will happen.
So these symbols of the circle and the crescents and stuff.
Oh, Matt loves a moon puzzle.
I do love a moon puzzle. It's classic. And you said there was some like older stuff around the outside.
Most of it seems to be, with your investigation check, Quins, it seems to be that the decoration around the edge is to help disguise these holes where things come out of. But there's a blank space above the shark's teeth and below the shark's teeth as well.
I'll
like just pure
finger these holes for you and be saying like, now, I think if we get this puzzle door wrong, those things are some awful's going to come. Some kind of bad stuff going to come. Fill this room with gas or arrows or some other nonsense.
Is there anything else?
What skills do we need for like?
Oh,
lock-picking type thing or puzzle solving? Or...
This is all down to you guys. Lock picking, there is no lock to pick. You can't see any sort of keyhole or anything like that. What I will say is the two of you, with your passive perceptions, the only other thing you notice is there is a water level which is actually quite high on the door in the cave, and there are barnacles on it as well. And it looks like maybe at certain tides this room is flooded. That's the only other thing you guys really seem to notice.
So we got lucky that we came, or maybe got lucky that we came down when the
tide was low.
The tide was low. I bet there are people.
Or perhaps the lake was fuller at some point and it's been drained. You're not quite sure.
Weren't there some patterns on those?
no, barnacles.
On the chests of those chaps back there.
There was like some blood kind of painted symbols.
Yeah, what were the symbols on there? On those guys?
What languages do you guys speak?
I speak Common, Draconic, Elven, and Druidic.
Jeez Louise.
Okay. So Sean, what do you guys speak? Just
Common, Elven, Dwarven.
Where are you saying this?
So it'll be down in this
It's
one.
here.
I might not have written yours on. I'm
Other
sorry.
proficiencies.
So yours would be
Proficiency in swords and poisons.
you would have Common, Dwarven, and probably another language like Giant or Gnomish or Orc.
I'll take giant.
Okay. The symbols appear to be a kind of very twisted form of Elvish, but also there are Druidic symbols on these creatures. The symbols are more, they're not powers, they're not like spells or anything like that. They seem to be around about the idea of blood, the idea of consummation, like being eaten, and transformation.
Okay. So
And sharks. Lots of shark motifs.
could kill a shark. Don't think that's a good idea. That's not a solution, Pip. That's not a solution.
I might just go and sit outside the cave to get some light and look at the maps of the area that I've got and see if there's any kind of geometric kind of
Shapes in the land itself.
in the land itself, and also just looking around to see if there's any kind of like anything with because we've noticed the
maybe.
water, looking at the water out there and looking if there's like, you know, is this lake a certain shape? Is there anything like visible outside?
The lake is pretty round. It has a river that runs from the mountains, feeds it, or various rivers run into, feed the lake, and then it runs out to the coast. But the lake itself is fairly round. Looking at it, you get the sense, actually, kind of being around and looking at the geography, the lake probably does actually, like when the mountains, like if there's a lot of rainfall, it will probably rise up. If it floods, it would probably rise, and that passage that you were in would probably fill with water at some point. On a fairly, maybe not regular basis, maybe like once or a couple of times a month or something like that. The other thing, looking at the symbols, there's definitely certainly an element of aggression against elven stuff. Like you kind of get the idea that like the elven symbols have been sort of twisted and corrupted. Whoever painted these on has a clear distaste for anything elven. You guys can actually make religion checks as well. See if you guys figure anything out on that.
I have +0 for religion.
Oh, religion is something I'm good at for some reason.
Intelligence, because you're smart.
I just
Makes
know
sense.
about the world.
You're a worldy guy.
Let's do a check looking at these symbols. That's not great. That is 10.
Looking at it, you know that the moon has some various religious significance. Like, you know, if you think that it's related to the moon, the elves do worship a goddess called Sahani Moonbow, who's kind of associated with the moon. She has various enemies. The orcs hate them. There are older figures kind of forgotten to time. The dwarves once fought against them. You're sure that there's other things, but you can't remember them.
We can have a go.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, 18 religions.
You have a religion modifier.
You're pretty learned man. You've had education, you've been risen by nobility, you speak Elven, probably had like some sort of tutelage at some point. You do know that the Sahani Moonbow, this kind of Elven goddess associated with the moon, had quite a lot of enemies, including
A big shark.
basically a god that is represented by a big shark called Siakatha, who is kind of all about these kind of monster creatures and these ancient evils and these kind of cults that kind of worked around it. And the elves did their best to stomp them out, and there was a fierce hatred between them. And they would always talk about basically trying to bring down Sahani and Moonbow, like trying to eradicate the elves.
Okay. And who was it? This god was worshipped by orcs, you said?
By cults of various types. It was kind of anybody that loved wanton destruction.
And this circular thing with it, is it like a kind of ring with the
It's like a
symbols on it?
spinning,
Or a
like,
spinning.
or like
It's like a
if you-
trackball.
So
It's like a trackball,
So you
yeah.
just choose one of the
four, and then it looks like you can push it in as well.
I'm going to say, right, stand back, gentlemen. I believe I have this one under some control.
I'll sort of look up from my notes that I've been like writing on pieces of parchment and be like, sorry?
Well, you see, there was a elven goddess,
Sahani.
Shania Moonbow, and she was obviously very.
I'm just going to put a
attached.
hand on Sean, sort of like gently pushing him out of the room with me.
It's a very long story, but basically there was a feud between moon worshippers and this shark thing, and I think basically if we just remove, as you see, if you just stand back, this shouldn't be an issue. But actually, neither of you want to do this, do you?
I was.
I could poke at it with my spear.
That's actually not a bad idea.
So we've got like some actual distance
So
from the thing.
Badger, wait, we can gum up the holes as well. We can put,
Have you got something that we
well,
can
yeah, I
use
could
for that?
cut out rope, we could wet rope, we could get sort of like wads of wet rope in the thing, which if it's an arrow won't do much, but if it's gas, might.
Also, don't worry. There's not gonna be a problem here, and I will just basically begin. I'm gonna turn it
out
to,
of here.
I'm going to turn it to be blank,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm going to take the spear. Thank you very much.
That's what I was gonna do. I was like, if you'd come up with something different, I was like, what do I do?
And just press the button in with the blunt end of the
like,
from a distance, but then immediately kind of
Cower. You press it in and you begin to hear a... And the door actually begins to lower with a faint hiss. Water kind of spills. There is a very strong briny smell that just emanates. And you can hear a very faint chanting as this thing begins to lower.
Cults are always chanting, aren't they? They're never like, oh, someone's arrived, we should...
I mean, do they need coffee breaks?
No,
Like,
just-
I need caffeine to do all this talking. Like chanting, I think after a while you'd be like, actually, I'm not going to do any chanting today. I'll just sit and watch some Netflix.
That's the only time I've ever fainted, was at school doing choir rehearsal.
Really?
I was stood up
Overcome.
singing, sing.
We faint in embarrassing ways. Never
Yeah,
mind.
you passed out in boots. Didn't you?
I passed out in boots. I passed out in bed a couple of times. I
That's a lot of places.
passed out in airport security recently.
Oh,
which
yeah.
was,
Wow.
that was a thing.
God.
Ooh.
I was worried I was going to get the full search. Anyway,
So anyway, you see this stone door basically kind of disappear into a recess beneath it. And yeah, it is another thin, narrow corridor where you can hear this kind of faint chanting and this kind of strong, briny smell.
what sort of things are they chanting?
Should I sneak ahead
Just
again?
kind of like nonsense stuff, like...
It's not nonsense, it's a language we don't speak.
But it's
isn't
like,
it?
like they're just saying like random things, like the world will return to water, long may the old laws rule, blah, 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 blah.
Fish are cool.
Sneak?
Sharks are really cool.
I go in and see if we can...
Sneaky
Cool
sneak.
sharks.
You guys got your bloody lanterns.
It's like playing Skyrim. I love it.
19 plus 7.
I'll hide in the corner and keep firing arrows at them for hours.
I'm gonna get my stealth bonus while I'm standing right in front of them.
Okay.
Okay, the amount of people he's rolling to check if they see me is worrying.
The old classic. Well, that's one of my favorite TXs as DM. Is I just start rolling dice, and it might not be for any reason.
Sometimes you're just...
It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna roll dice. No, so you sneak your way down, and you see that the kind of worked corridor leads into a large, about 50-foot square room, so 50 foot wide with 50 foot across, with a very like the whole thing is covered in water, ankle deep, but the center of the room seems to dip down into a deeper pool. You can see a shape moving amongst that pool, but at the back there is a barnacle-crusted altar where a woman is gutting a man who has got like fish-like properties. She has got a crown made of kind of almost like driftwood. An amulet hangs around her neck with, again, like shark's teeth embedded on like a dark iron background. And she is literally cutting him open whilst doing all this chanting.
So, she is cutting open a man. How many other people are chanting?
That's it. Just,
Okay,
just
but-
her
okay.
and this shape in the water.
And there's a...
Shape in the water.
That's not what that song was about. A weird blood cult of a creature.
It might have been. I don't know about you guys, but I would like to throw a knife at a lady.
So you're going to step up from behind Baldric.
So it's like
Baldric.
I'm completely stealth and I sort of become aware that light is filling the room.
Go for it. Please do. Throw said knife.
It doesn't actually do that much damage, but never mind.
Why do you shoot her?
Actually, shooting her is probably a better idea.
You're literally... What's your class again?
Gunslinger.
So you shoulder the rifle.
Yeah, the dagger is just for when things get hairy. Yeah, let's just shoot first, ask questions later.
There you go.
Okay. So as you step
Wait.
up,
We could have a cool conversation with her before we initiate the fight.
Yeah, I'll stand back in the shadows with a gun. You can go and have a cool conversation if you want.
Okay. So you want to try and hide?
You like fish, don't you? You're a bit like a fish.
These guys are like sort of nature cultists, and that's mostly what you are. Being problematic over here. Just saying, though, you of all people will be able to connect with her on an animal lover level.
But she's not an animal.
She's an animal lover. You're not an animal either.
I'm an animal lover.
She's cross about some animals.
Well, maybe you can sympathise with her.
She's gutting a man.
That is true. If you feel that puts you at a distance,
Well, I've already been poked with the sword.
You have.
Yeah,
Should we just kill
I
her?
feel a bit vulnerable.
I mean, I can talk to her if you want.
You could do some
I want to see that
backflips.
scene.
All right.
So you're
fine.
gonna
No, wait.
Okay.
Sorry, I've got this. You talk
I
to
like
her.
the idea that you're having this conversation like back, like, all right, so what we're
This
going
is
to do is
just
you're going to
all
go and speak
role
to
You
her.
play.
two do
games.
some sneaking, and I'll do some talking.
No, well, I worried
Distract
that she'll notice Sean, because Sean's not as sneaky as me. I got my 19 in my stealth.
Yeah, you're observing and unseen.
You talk to her. I'm going to sneak around the room so that I can get my backstab and do quadruple damage with assassinate. So,
You can assassinate whatever's in the water.
no, I'll assassinate the woman and then be jumped by a frog, owl, bear, tentacle thing. But that's for later. So I'm just,
A mini kraken.
yeah, I thought that'd be charming. So yeah, you talk to her. I will sneak around the back of the room.
Okay, so you start
Sword at
sneaking
the
around.
ready.
Where before, like, you were kind of, it was ankle deep water and you're kind of stealthing around and things like that. As you get in here, you notice that the floor is definitely kind of concurved into a basin, so sneaking around the edge. Give me another stealth check. I would give you disadvantage, but being such an expert, you managed to kind
Thank
of
you
keep
very
your footing.
much. Big of you, Mark.
all right.
That's 23 total.
Right, so you're basically sneaking around the room. You kind of, as Badger kind of steps in, you use that as your cue to start moving around, almost using him as a bit of a shield as you like stealth off to the side. What is Sean doing at this point?
I hadn't thought about that. I could try and
You're
heal
a little bit
myself.
back inside the little tunnel, maybe about 10 feet from the room.
I don't think that I would actually be helping if I went in.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Okay, so you're just kind of readying yourself.
Yeah, like I've got my shield, obviously, and
You
I've
can
got
be-
a spear, kind
you
of
can-
just
you can,
in
like,
case,
maybe, like-
you know.
Defend me while I'm doing gun stuff.
Suppression shield, spear
You
fire.
can be like stabbing people who come at me.
So, but yeah, I'm just
Provide
kind of
cover.
like,
Okay.
I'm ready
be
for
so
action,
cool.
but
Nice.
not sure what's going to happen.
So as Badger, you step in, the kind of of your boots kind of stepping through. She kind of looks up at you, and you can see her eyes have basically gone purely black. You can see gills on the side of her neck beginning to kind of breathe slowly, and she kind of looks up at you, and is like, welcome, friend. Have you come to pay honor to the old ways?
You must have terrible problems with damp in here. I know a chap if you want me to put you in touch.
The damp is comforting to me. She like looks at you with this kind of weary thing. Tell me, why have you come here? And I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no! Not our boy Badger. He has been charmed.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Badger. I hate the poor. That's
we're
just
gonna be
YouTube, isn't it? Yeah, that's just YouTube. It's not even a joke.
We're going to be pranking some poor peasants today.
Yeah, God.
So, wisdom saving throw.
+2. So it's...
Natural 20.
What's going on with this?
She looks disgustingly filthy and poor, and that holds no sway over Badger Carrington.
My character deserves to die.
She like looks at
Maybe
you.
he will. The image is not over yet.
It's true.
She looks at you strangely, like, "Come, step in, join me."
I'm alright, thanks.
That disappoints me.
Am I in position yet?
Yes. Would you like to launch your sneaky stealth?
I'm going to fling myself like a ball of dwarf. at her. No, I'm not going to make that noise. I'm
Okay.
just gonna, there's no need. Just the first.
You're not a hero either, are you? You're just a man who will murder.
An opportunity.
Yeah, I've got. I'm
a
literally still
bureaucrat.
thinking about money. I'm
You
thinking,
people don't get
how
last
do we spend
words.
this to
People don't
get
get last
paid?
words in your world. Just like...
Let's go. Okay.
So, what, short sword, dagger?
Short sword, please. It's
Okay.
finesse weapon.
You have advantage, as she has not detected you.
Lovely stuff. And if I hit, it's an automatic crit with assassinate. And
With
this
sneak
will
attack.
this will be a sneak attack. So I'm going for her heart,
Okay.
her witchy heart. That is not. Oh no! That's a 6 and a 4.
So, will you add your bonus for your weapons as well?
10.
10. You splash out and you suddenly notice that part of the rock dips away, almost like a little kind of pothole within the thing. You sploosh down, she whips around and just manages to bring this kind of like, this curved ritual blade up and parry the blade aside. She's like, fools, now you die.
I yell, Badger!
And that is the initiative for everyone, please. So we need to...
Badger, he's our man. He can shoot a woman in the head. Don't worry, Sean, we're heroes.
I'm not sure.
We're heroes in the slightly murderous D&D sense. That is 16 for me.
16 for Boulder Dirk.
16 also.
16 for Sean. Plus your initiative bonus as well.
3, so that's 19.
19. Badger, you are first to go. What would you like to do?
I'd like to shoot a woman in the head. not any, I mean specifically the evil fish cultist gutting men on an altar. I think she has it coming, frankly.
Absolutely. So yeah, please make your attack roll.
She's murdering, I mean, you know, who knows what they did. There's two sides to every story.
She said now you die, so...
Yeah, precisely. I think that's...
I think the dwarf attempted assassination has put her in a foul mood.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, make attack with your musket or rifle, please.
Yeah, so I'm going to use grit again, because I got my grit back last time, because I keep killing people.
You did, yeah, so you have advantage on the roll. With a +7.
Thank God.
That's 25.
The bullet rocks out. Roll your damage, please.
Okay.
The bullet rocks out of your gun. How about that? That's great.
I'm a man of many words, not all of them very good.
Men of excellent sound effects, though.
1.
Plus your normal damage.
+3.
So 4 total. It kind of nicks her face, like you kind of, it hits, but just kind of tears a chunk out, and she just kind of like, good. And she looks over
What were we
towards
saying
you.
earlier about using the good
lady.
rolls?
She's weird.
Would you like to move? You're currently in the doorway with this kind of 50-foot room in front of you. Would you like to move
leave.
anywhere? You could run back into the corridor.
I'm actually just gonna move behind, move into the corridor, and as I do it, motion to Sean to basically be like, you know, because you've got a turtle shell shield and a spear.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Although I am kind of leaving you out there to.
It's in character.
Sean,
You imagine the trill of exciting music as you shoot, and then you take the gun and just walk backwards away from the...
I love it. I love it. Sean and Bulldog, you guys had the same initiative, so you can choose who goes in which order.
In my mind, like, you're all NPCs, basically.
I am the real hero.
I am
here.
the protagonist of reality.
In and out of the game.
My character is basically Brexit Dad.
So, shall I go first?
Please
Given
do.
that you're probably splooshing.
I'm a solution. Well, you see if you can create an opportunity for me. If you get close, like, no, I've already sneaked
So I
up.
have a vial of
you get it
acid.
every
Oh, no,
round.
but it's again. So if you can get within 5 foot of her, I can sneak attack her.
That's true. The other thing that I can do is I can throw a vial of acid at her.
You tell you what, you have a 2nd level spell called Melf's Acid Arrow, which is not messing about.
It's not a foolish spell.
I might want to save it for whatever the
Whatever
thing
the thing
is.
is.
Seems legit.
This dark, luminous, ominous shape in this large pool in the centre of the room.
It might just be
Hang
like
on.
a dolphin.
So
Only dolphin.
I could run over to you because I think guidance just lets me give you a pat on the back, which helps you with whatever you're doing, right?
I'm interested in this.
Guidance is you added like a D4 to an attack roll or saving throw.
Give me some guidance, Sean.
I'm going to run over and give you a bit of a pat on the...
So when you run in, do you want to try and skirt around the pool, or do you want to try and...
Just splashing into it.
Yeah, I would assume so. So you kind of splash around, you get behind Boulder Dirk and slap him on the back and convey him this druidic sense. And you kind of feel that, like, yeah, your accuracy's better, your will is stronger.
What do you tell me?
I just go for it, I believe in you.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Here I go!
And yeah, you have an extra D4.
And every sentence.
Is that to
doing
damage?
great.
You can attack to attack rolls or saving throws. So you can't add it to damage, but you can add it to your roll to hit.
Okay, right, let's go.
You
Which
don't have
you might
advantages.
need.
That is 9 plus 4 plus another 4 for the short sword, so that's a total of 17.
That will hit. Your blade sinks into her.
Oh, baby.
And because you have an ally within 5 feet, you do sneak attack.
I deal extra damage to one creature you hit.
I mean, it's 2d6.
I guess you're basically a distractionist. You're like, look at me!
It just says extra damage.
It's 2d6.
I'm just like acting as
because I'm
bossy
using the
right
short sword.
now.
because
It's like,
if you're level,
hi.
because you're level 3, you have 2d6 sneak attack, and then you have your short sword damage on top of that as well.
Oh god, really? So it's 3d6?
Plus your whatever your modifier is as
Plus
well.
2.
There you go, 3d6 plus 2.
This is for all the dwarf marbles!
That is 3 ones.
Can the camera see that?
Yeah, the
That
camera
is-
can see that.
That's an amazing cut
That
too.
is 3.
Wow.
So is that a 5 total damage?
You know what? 5 isn't even. The dwarf marbles have.
Yeah!
But we sure did butcher those children earlier. they died horribly, quickly.
You can do this, kind of.
The blade kind of cuts through some of the kind of loose armor and cloth that she has. Got a dark crimson line appearing across her arm.
I feel like we've not got our heads in the game anymore.
Next up, paper
Druids
cuts.
can only do so much.
We're just. Oh my goodness. Okay, right.
Right, well-
what happens now?
What happens now
Yeah.
is from the central pool, a tentacle emerges and attempts to wrap around Sean.
Can I change into an octopus?
You could have done on your turn, but sadly not in
Oh,
reaction.
this will be great. Octopus v Octopus.
That is going
The
to be
ultimate crossover battle. It's not a crossover
That's
battle.
only a
it's just
12 to
nature.
hit, however.
Huh?
Only a 12 to hit you.
Okay.
So look at what's your armor class?
50.
So it misses. So you kind of bring the shield up as this tentacle kind of wraps around it and doesn't quite manage to. It looks like it was trying to grab you, maybe like hit you with a brutal
No
force.
way, Jose.
But following the tentacle, pulling itself up onto the kind of edge of the pool, probably was once a bear with an owl's head, but now these kind of grotesque octopus limbs are kind of all around its neck. And it's kind of like writhing out. It's basically a cross between an octopus and an owl bear.
That's a good enemy.
And it's like, kind of like its tentacles flopping around, and it's going to try to bite you with its large
Oh, it's an owl.
beak
It's
as
got an
well.
owl's head, right? So the noise it makes is like. But like gargly.
Yeah.
There you go.
19 to hit you, I'm afraid, Sean, as its powerful jaws sink into your flesh.
That's unfortunate.
That
What
is-
do I roll for this?
That I've already hit
Anything?
you. No, I'm afraid it hits you. It beats your armor class, and it deals 7 points of damage as this beak just chomp, bites into you. Into
You done
your
got
flesh.
chomped.
Wow, I have got
The-
unfortunately mangled. I have 15 HP
Left.
right now.
You'll be okay. This is combat. This is
You've
what
got some.
happens in
You've got
combat.
a
I've
healing
got
spell, right?
medicine.
Unless you're rich, in which case
Do
you're
you have
in
any
a corridor ready to
healing
leave.
spells?
Pardon?
If you have healing spells, you can cast those on yourself
I
as well.
don't think I do, unfortunately.
Have a check.
I don't know why this is so funny to me, but sliding the chair away from the table to
Oh no, I
symbolise
do
you
have
leaving.
cure wounds.
Yeah, so that's you can use that as a healing spell to heal you or anybody you touch.
Okay.
I feel like it's going to do more damage to us per turn than.
I just
The-
love the fact that my description of character was when I left my hometown in a hurry. Why you had to leave in such a hurry is your business. But it means like I just sort of feel like I'm now just like this could be just another case of I had to leave in quite the hurry. It's fine. A gentleman with a family will always
Show up
find
at the
a
next town. I believe I own this place.
I have some paperwork.
Here we go. The woman sort of just is like, yes, my beast, come. A bane upon you all. And all three of you would like to make charisma saving throws, please.
What do I need to roll under my charisma?
So you add your charisma saving throw bonus, which may,
Oh, so
in
that
your
was
case, be a penalty.
-1.
So 18.
18.
Nailing this.
What are
So
we...
charisma saving throw.
We're trying
please.
to not be seduced by a woman.
Oh no!
18 to a 4.
So it appears
So
to be
seduced.
you're not seduced, but you feel like an ominous presence kind of surrounding you.
Okay.
Very much like the guidance you did for Quinn's. This spell I can take away 1d4 from an attack roll or something like that you do.
Okay.
Is Bane. And now we go back to Carrington.
Okay, I'm trying to work out whether.
It's worth reloading your gun.
Yeah, no, I can do that. I can actually I can do a quick thing where I can just get a hurry on. Come on, won't be a jiffy.
Keep making that sign for the cameras as well.
Oh god,
Matt.
sorry, it's a family
It's a
show.
great- it's a great gift.
That's what muskets are like, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do I want to reload it? Do I want to just throw a dagger at this lady?
I think.
Basically, is she going to be really tough, or can I just try and hopefully kill this lady?
Here's what my head goes to with classic cults and monsters. Well, you want to kill the cult leader because.
Yeah, that's the thing is, do you kill the beast or do you kill the thing?
Does an owlbear count as an animal?
It is a monstrosity.
So
It doesn't
I'll
count as
say.
it doesn't count as a
There you
natural
go.
animal, sadly.
That's what it looks
let's
Oh,
give
yes,
that
please.
to the camera.
That's
I love it.
half this impression.
I know, that's amazing. That's 100%.
It's like a sunflower that wants a hug.
Yeah, just like
It doesn't look quite as terrifying.
Fine.
Oh, I
as
like the
I'd
nose
hoped.
though. It's got like
a
a
little beak.
Okay, so are we going to kill the woman?
You need your notes back. This is very important.
Like anyone who's ever played any game ever, we should focus all of our damage on one thing, right? Because then it dies, and then you've got.
I should probably. I'm gonna use my
Action surge.
action surge to do the exciting thing of very quickly reloading my gun
And then take another shot.
Take my another Deadeye
Deadeye
shot.
shot.
This is my last grit.
Oh no!
That's fine. I get them back if I kill things.
Or get a crit as well.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Roll a crit. That seems doable. 16?
That's definitely going to hit with a +7 bonus. Yeah, the bullet again flies through the air, strikes into her.
Do some damage, Badger.
Big damage.
That's
pretty good.
That rocked all around the clock.
14 damage.
Bang!
That's.
Although I prefer it when Mark does the sound effect. There you go.
There you go. The bullet flies out and it strikes her, and you can see actually for the first time shock on her face. It kind of embeds into her chest. Crimson begins to spill out, staining her robe. She kind of is like, no, you shall die. And she kind of looks at you, but she's clearly staggered and heavily wounded.
Not planning on it.
Interesting.
I'm basically Alan Partridge with a gun.
Sean and Balderdirk.
Oh, do you want to go? Do you have any bright ideas?
I'm a bit hurt.
Yeah. Oh, but it's so D&D. This is like, think of it like losing your health bar in like Dota or anything else.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking like,
You don't
what's
really
actually
die.
a good way around to do this? Like, do you want to do a thing and then I'll see what I can
Tell
do
you
off
what.
the back
Well,
of
do you
that,
want to?
or-
Shall I do a thing and then you can decide whether you want to cure wounds or not?
Well, because
You can
we're
decide
quite.
while
So
you're saying
we're
it as well.
focusing on her, right?
I think so.
So I've got a scimitar. Could I just like slit her throat?
Yeah, you've got +4
Sounds
to
like a
attack
good
with a
idea.
scimitar.
You can just start wailing on her. You know,
Can I just do that then? I'm just gonna.
Yeah, make an attack
What
roll.
is
So
that?
it's a D20 plus your scimitar attack bonus.
So +4.
Yep. And you want to try and beat
Pip,
her up.
Pip, she's on. Oh my god!
So, what damage does your scimitar do?
It does 1d6 +2.
Okay, so you're going to roll 2d6 plus 2 instead because of the crit.
But you get is it the minus thing because of the.
Oh, technically the crit wouldn't have affected because it's always a hit. So that is actually super good because that prevents it from doing that.
Hot dog.
You, as you intended, you kind of pull this blade out and just whoonk, and her head just rolls for a moment, and then a big flap opens up in the throat, and she just plummets
Sean!
into the pool. Just
Sean, what were you? What? We didn't mean to do that. Sean!
That's
Just kind of like.
Sean! We wanted her alive, Sean.
I love that. That's just like the Dragonborn just turns around. And it's like,
This is the first time you genuinely felt like a lizard warrior. He just cut a woman's head off.
and yeah, it basically the head is still attached by the slimmest bit of muscle and flesh.
Is she still alive?
No.
I didn't know where that narration was going.
No.
And then she hits
Well,
you.
I want to ask her a question. Why did you do this?
The beast
head lolloping.
shrieks. The owlbear octopus shrieks in some sort of rage and fury, and it's still is.
It's still
Yeah.
kicking.
That old bean.
Balderdirk.
Good old Boulder. Is she within 5? Is
Of
he
the beast, yeah, because it was
within
attacking.
5?
Yeah. Sean
Great.
was attacking it.
Let's try and do
You're not quite sure where the vulnerable points are, but you reckon eyes are a good
How
start.
far away are these?
From you, about 40 feet. Like, you moved about 20, 30 feet back into the
Okay.
corridor, and it was quite a long...
I'm sort of wondering if it's worth shouting, maybe a bit of space, and is it like to sort of motion that I'm going to put down a trap.
You're
Oh, okay.
here, I think.
If we've got an enraged beast and an entrance,
Can you? Okay.
it might be that I just sort of shout to you guys,
It's a pretty good idea.
and then you guys can maybe attack something and then run. Can you move? Can you do that? Can you?
You could, if you attack and then move away, it will get a free swipe at you,
right,
because
okay,
like you're
sure.
trying to like desperately turn
I can
away
get out
from
of
it.
here, but I can't
What are
leave
the
Sean.
bonus attacks? What are the bonus actions?
So for most people, it will be like certain spells or certain abilities. I think like Kieran can do things like he can heal himself as a bonus action. You might have some spells that are bonus actions, but it's only the rogue can do the thing where they can disengage as a bonus
How
action.
do we know what are our bonus actions?
So in the spell description, it will say, if it doesn't say in your features that it's a bonus action, it's not a bonus action. I normally specifically write
okay.
if it's as a bonus action.
I
you
don't
can do
think
a
I
thing.
can leave Sean.
I don't think you have
No,
any, to be
no,
honest.
I forgot.
No, it's
So
fine.
I'm going to use my cunning action to try and conceal myself. So then I can do my sneak
Advantage.
attack with an advantage.
Yeah,
right?
you can try and hide. Yeah, you can basically try and
give it a
do this thing.
shot.
It's difficult because this kind of thing is in an enclosed space, but you can try.
I mean, I've got a bonus action that's kicking around, right?
You could hide
yeah.
behind the altar.
Yeah,
I'll
the
just-
altar's there.
and then just jump out from behind it.
Yeah.
That's a 12 plus 7 is a 19. No,
Okay.
6. No, 18.
As you kind of dive behind, you can see the creature like sniffing, and it's like looking around, and it seems to still know where you are.
Okay,
you can
that's
still
fine.
attack it.
Then I just naha, and then come
You
back
just jump out anyway.
So without the advantage.
With the blade, yeah, just without the advantage.
That is walking all over the shop, but that's a 19.
19. That's still enough. The blade pierces through its thick furred hide.
It's 2d6 for the thing.
For the sneak attack, and then your short
1d6.
sword.
This is bonkers. I'm only
Yeah.
level 3, and I've got these dice I'm rolling.
Yeah.
5th edition is amazing.
So it's very
It's
much.
not 3 1s, so we'll take it.
That's a lot better.
That's 13 plus 2 is 15 damage on that
15
owlbear.
points of damage. As you strike into it, you get the sense that, like, from what you've heard about owlbears, this may be one quite young. It's quite small for an owlbear, but still, the blade pierces through.
I'm not
going to
go easy on it or
No,
anything.
no,
I'm
absolutely
pretty-
not. It howls, and the tentacles writhe around in pain.
I hang on and just try and do what I can.
Yeah, no, it's there.
I'm in there, buddy.
It turns on you, having struck this deadly blow,
Yeah.
and it's going to try and wrap you up in one of its tentacles.
Oh god.
What is your AC there?
14.
14. The tentacle wraps around you. And it actually starts crushing the life out of you.
Oh no.
That is 14 points of damage as
Great.
you feel this
Whoa.
octopus thing. Not only that, you are currently grappled by the creature,
Nice.
which means that you can't move, and it has advantage to attack you.
Do I still, this is a stupid question,
Yes.
have the temporary hit points?
Yes, they
from
last until you take a rest. So
Really?
you had the 5 on there.
So
I think it lasts
was-
like 8 hours or something.
Still thinking about what you told me. As I run out of oxygen in my lungs.
I got tips for people.
You do?
Just trying to work out if there's any way that turning into an octopus would be useful.
It would be cool.
It would be cool. Always do what you want to do.
I
You can
just-
try and you can try and wrestle it as another octopus.
It's wrestling me,
It's
you're
just
wrestling
that
it.
it's so small, and
how small?
also the
you-
owlbear
check
is
out the,
out
um,
of the water.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, you could put it back into
Because
the...
I was thinking I could like do an ink cloud and then we could get out, but then we need the head, so we've got several heads, just not the right one.
I'm trying to remember it, like, animate cakes or like that kind of dumb stuff, like so incredibly specific.
I love it. Yeah, that's
The old school D&D mentality.
that's a great find.
Cool. So, it has you grasped in this tentacle, and it's crushing the life out of you. And then it turns its beak on you, and as you can't move, it has advantage, and it starts trying to chomp away.
Roger!
14.
Crikey. That's you back up.
So that is a 19 to hit you again. So I'm guessing that's over your AC.
It
18.
is.
So this time it is 7 more points of damage.
It's
this
fine.
Big, as it's kind of got you wrapped up in all of its tentacles and it's nomming on you.
You know how you said that getting injured was fine and
It's
everything?
fine. The AD&D
Being
rules for
fine.
dying are actually quite cool.
Fine with
It's fine. Look, see, I'm taking it on the chin.
Badger Carrington.
you take
Right,
it everywhere.
yes.
It's got
Time.
a beak.
So how far away are we?
Eggy
You are
beaks.
about 40 feet away from where all
Picking
this
the
action is
eggs
happening.
out of it.
Okay. So I think it might be time for me to dash in. Mm-hmm. And I'm 30 feet. My speed is 30 feet, which means I can't get all the way in, but it means I can run and throw a dagger.
You absolutely could. You could basically run to the edge of the room and just whip it out.
Let's see how good you are with
Whip
this.
the dagger out, I mean, so and just
I'm going to try. I'm going to try and get
dear.
this thing's attention, basically. I'm
Okay,
just gonna
great.
Sort of, like,
So do you want to try and get his
shout
attention
and-
with like the thing and shout as well? And
Yeah, I'm
stuff
going to
like
shout and throw a knife to just
Sweet.
try and like.
What are you going to shout, Badger?
That? Yeah, what do you shout?
Come here, you bastard!
So
You there! You are a giant bear!
You bloody squid!
So
Yeah.
the first thing I want you to
I
do,
said it.
give me an intimidation check to make yourself look big and threatening.
Okay.
To pose a threat.
You're actually good at this, which makes no sense.
That's 9 plus 2, 11.
Okay.
So
And then give me the attack roll with a dagger.
okay, so with the dagger, that's 16 plus 7.
Yeah. The marksman aim, you kind of it
So
whips
that's
out.
23.
That easily hits, and now you can roll the damage on the knife.
Damage is not so hot.
It's a
D4 plus 3. 4!
Seven.
That's not bad. That's as good as
Hot
a knife
dog.
could be.
You actually kind of strike it into sort of like part of its eye, and it's like
Oh.
reeling around in pain. And it does
Yeah,
in
that's
fact
what gets me.
turn its attention on you, and it drops Border Dirk, and it looks like it's hungry. It's going to come and try and wrap you up in its
Splash.
tentacles. Yeah, like into
Only
the
little,
water.
so-
Alex! I haven't thought this through.
Oh no!
Sean and Border Dirk.
I want a sneak attack!
Yeah,
Do you want to cast your cool
Do
spell?
you want to do that, or shall I,
wanna-
loose an arrow?
I wanna see you loose a
Yeah,
cool-
exactly.
Have you got the spell there?
Yes,
I want
mouse
to-
acid arrow.
I would like to listen to one of Europe's most famous Dungeons & Dragons Dungeon Masters describe one of the most classic D&D spells.
Fantastic. Well, what does it do? Just give me the what you need to do, like attack rolls and stuff like that, or saving throws. Because I can't remember it. I should remember it off by heart.
Target takes 4d4 acid damage if I hit,
And is
and
it a ranged spell
2d4. Yes, it is a ranged spell attack.
Fantastic. So you're going to roll a d20 and then add your spell attack bonus, which is the +4 from before, and hope that you hit.
Sean!
Oh my. That's a big one.
Does it have an effect on a miss?
Yeah, it does. On a miss, the arrow splashes the target with acid for half as much as of the initial damage and no damage at the end of its turn.
Okay, fantastic. So if you roll the damage and then tell me what the half is.
Got it a bit.
So it's 44. The arrow, you watch as the Dragonborn kind of like raises its kind of clawed hands, the shield and spear in it, and it kind of and it's just this projectile of acid of nature magic just
Is there another
flies
d4
out.
or shall I just
I've got one.
reuse? Ah,
There
cool.
you go. You can use both. So that's going to be.
It's fine.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And we round down, so it will be 4 points of acid damage. So it kind of misses a lot of the creatures. It kind of the creature ducks. Thank you very much. The acid flies out. This kind of like long, slender, almost like a javelin of acid flies out. It manages to coat some of the creature, burning away at maybe 1 or 2 of the tentacles. It almost drips onto Balderic, who's underneath it, kind of wrestling with these tentacles as this acid like gets on your clothes and maybe burns through some of your cape or some of your pouches. And the rest of it kind of just hits the water and dissolves in like a steaming puddle. The creature does roar around, but it still seems to be in a fighting state.
Sneak attack!
You plunge the dagger up or the short sword up.
Yep,
Trying to
up out of
strike
the water. Weren't expecting that, were you, Albert? It's 15 to hit.
That is enough. It managed to slide through some sort of like thick furred
Hot dog!
ribs.
That's 6, 6, 2. That's 12, 14, 15, 16 damage.
You ram it up and it actually goes up through its jaw and you're
wow.
pretty sure you catch it into the brain, wriggle it around, it kind of spasms for a moment and then falls down dead.
I'm going to stand up. That was gross.
Just coated in like the thick bloody ichor of the owl beast,
Yeah.
the owl puss, the Alberipus, I don't know, like whatever it is.
That would have been the first thing that if I invented that monster, it's like, this needs an amazing portmanteau. Alberoct.
And yeah, the creature's just, it floats there. You can see the floating body of the woman, the witch, whoever she was, just kind of floating in the pool. The amulet kind of like drifting around
What
her
about the
neck.
cultists? Are they just jogged on?
The two that ran away, there was no other cultists, it was just her
just
in there.
two.
Yeah.
Small crowd. I suppose that's what happens if you kill all of your cultists
We
with a
need
knife.
Yeah, there was the desiccated body on the altar.
We need to hack the head off.
You do, yeah, I'm clutching my guts, but before I slump against the wall, I'm going to just walk over and try and sleight of hand the amulet off her neck without these two noticing.
Do you want me to cure
Sleight
your
of hand.
wounds?
I feel like I'm reaching for the amulet and you asked her if I want help. I'm like, huh? Oh, yeah.
Oh, are you doing the thing from lunch again?
No, guys, there's an amulet, so we can... why don't you try and cure me?
Yeah,
Okay,
alright.
so Cure Wounds, you can cast it as a first level or a second level, and the second level is a bit more powerful. What would you like to do?
You can give us both the first level.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a D8 plus your Wisdom modifier as and you heal that many hit points to whoever you cast it on.
D8 and wisdom. My
So it is
wisdom.
plus 2.
Oh, it's a saving throw thing.
It's on that side there with the long
Oh, yeah,
numbers,
plus
so
two,
plus 2.
sure.
So D8 plus 2. So 8 hit points to Balder.
I'm feeling a lot better.
You watch as the sinew and the muscle begins to kind of like heal and clot and kind of repair itself through the magic.
That's magic.
That's magic.
It's crazy, isn't it? In character, but I never get tired of watching this.
And I guess because that applies to you, it doesn't apply to me.
No, it
Sorry.
only heals one target. You can cast it again. You can easily, as many spell slots as you have.
Okay. So yeah, I'll
Cast
try
it on
that
yourself
again.
It's fantastic.
It's good druiding.
Thanks.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Big old 10 hit points back, and you attempt to sleight of hand this amulet away.
No, not anymore.
Okay, not anymore.
I love this is proper Baldur's Gate spell casting. Boss fight is over. Just everyone just stand here and heal, heal. Right.
There is a thing in 5th edition D&D where if you take an hour, you can do something called a short rest, and you can spend these things called hit dice to gain hit points back. So you don't need to necessarily always use up all your spells. But it's
And you get
also,
some abilities back as well. I noticed.
Yeah, like yours. A lot of yours are based around short.
In old
rests.
D&D, it's like you're a level 1 wizard. It's like I did my spell. Now I need to go to sleep before I can do anything.
Yeah, they've kind of tried to move away from that.
So let me get this straight. Badger's character is based around having lots of short rests.
Short rest.
That's
yeah.
fitting.
Little hour sit downs. Breakfast wine.
I'm going to turn into an octopus. I'm done. I want this so badly.
Okay,
I deserve this.
Okay.
Do it.
Can I? I'm just an octopus now.
Okay. There's a lovely deep pool. And
Yeah.
as you look inside the pool, you can see at the bottom there is some glistening metal. You can kind of see it. You can't see the shapes. You swim down. It's maybe about 30 feet down, but you see a pile of silver coins. It's difficult to tell how much at this distance, but a fairly sizable pile. But also a long, curved scimitar with elven designs.
Yeah, I want that.
The blade, the curved blade, very reminiscent of the
this
crescent
is
moon.
blatantly like a parable that you saw me stealing earlier, and you're like, well, this must be how humans do things, and you take all
That's
this
how humans do. I want that scimitar.
So your tentacle wraps around it. You leave
Just
the
gonna-
coins
that's
and
me.
yeah, that's it.
What a modern story for our time. Is the amulet anything?
Yeah, you can pick up the amulet. Yeah, did you take that?
Yeah, fine. Does it look dodgy? Does it look massively
It looks like a black metal disc with
It's D&D, you know.
teeth arranged like a shark's jaws on a metal chain.
I'd be careful with that.
Yeah, can I take it but not put it on?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you just pop it in the thing. So with magic items in 5th, you have to spend some time attuning to them to get their powers. So as long as you don't like focus on it and put it on and go, oh, this is nice, my precious, you should be fine.
Okay, yeah, we'll give it...
Now, listen, Dirk, about this head. I just figured you have an axe, and you're already kind of...
I'm just going to walk over and just sort of like ignore you.
Excellent.
Head out.
It's just that I didn't actually get any of this on my shoes, so...
It takes you a couple of hefty swings, but you manage to basically get the head. Looking at it, it's definitely smaller than maybe some of the stories you've heard about owlbears. Maybe this is a young one that's kind of been captured and raised.
Can I move the thing a bit further back so the tentacles are all still attached to it? Like,
Yeah,
not cut off the head,
absolutely.
but
The
deeper
tentacles are
down
all kind of
shoulder.
connected to the neck. You kind of cut it off with plenty of room to spare.
So like when we carry it home, the tentacles are all going to be draping along the road.
Yeah.
That's
Picking
gross.
up dirt and everything else. And I'm assuming you guys, once you've kind of collected yourselves, the octopus returns wiggling around a sword that it's found.
Yeah, just having
wow.
a great time.
Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah,
Sorry.
lads. And you guys make your way back to Maidesbury.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You
As
guys
heroes.
head back into the town.
My shoes got slightly wet, but other than that, I am fine.
You got through this without being...
I didn't get touched.
You trudge through the town, and as you reach the bridge toll, a bunch of guards are like, sorry folks, 2 copper please each.
How's about this for 2 coppers? Point to giant head.
They're like, their eyes go wide, but the kind of older looking guardsman is just like, that's really nice. It's not 6 coppers for the 3 of you though.
Alright, fine. Screw some money.
He's like, oh, thanks. The Baroness thanks you for your patronage. Please enjoy the city, and he lets you in. It doesn't take you long to find Donald. He's been drinking most of the day.
So he didn't go home.
No, and it turns out you find out from the dwarven guard that you kind of get chatting to.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is
Forgotten about her.
he is an interrogator. She finds out her name is Kala, and he is a coward, and he was so terrified of this creature that he refused to go home until somebody had dealt with it. And you probably could have swindled a bit more money out of him if you played on that. But yeah, he's very happy to see the beast dead. He has already a big sack of gold coins that he prepares for you.
Well, now, hang on.
Are you going to try and swindle?
Well,
some
yeah,
more?
I
By all
don't want
means.
to tedious up the finale with admin,
no.
but
I
it was
think we deserve more.
it was an entire massive cult. It wasn't just a creature; it was a creature.
And we
did
saved
we did
so
protect his
much
house.
of his stuff.
yes.
We didn't steal anything.
He's like, all right, friends, all right. You didn't take my things. I appreciate that. Shall we say 150 gold bonus?
That pays off the debt exactly.
It gives us 50 quid extra.
Does it? I thought
50 gold extra. It's 500, and then
We
it
were
was 400
400 and
I
then...
fudged the numbers, so it's like, no, it pays off the debt exactly.
You can try if you like. He hands over. He actually pulls off. He's just like, well, I don't have the coin on me, but he pulls off like a gold ring, and he gets like some more change out of his things. Like that should be enough. There's nothing. There's nobody left. There's none of these cultists that you mentioned. There's nobody back in my house. Nothing I need to worry about.
We didn't.
Oh, I don't think we packed up all of our traps, so maybe just look out for that.
Thank you.
There's one of them somewhere. It's
There
fine.
was one chap with a dodgy leg, but I mean, he shouldn't be any trouble for your assistant.
Thank you. Yes.
If you just see anyone limping around the grounds, or even in town, just maybe give them a little prod.
Cal is just like, I'll give them a prod, my lord. And she like puts her hand on her long, short.
That's the
It's like a very wide short sword, so it's like
cool.
a gladius almost kind of thing. And she like puts her hand resting on that. Gives you an eye round. You pay off the Bankers Guild with the 500 gold remaining.
We could use the extra money for
Animal
some
Crossing.
extra breakfast.
Yeah, you can in fact go and buy some supplies. Benedict is really happy to see your scimitar that you spend some time with, Sean. You come to learn that it is of elven make and it is magical. It is a +1 scimitar, and whilst you hold it, you can stand on water.
What? I'm really excited about this, even though this is like a one-shot campaign and we'll never be going to do this
Walking
again.
on water, and don't it feel nice?
Do you know what? I'm just gonna go, but on the water. I'm just leaving.
Walk off.
It's like,
Here's the thing you can do.
You can
that's-
a squid walking on water.
No, here's
Sean
what you do.
out.
Sean walks
Bye.
onto the water, like standing on top of the water, then turns into a fish and falls through the water.
oh, so good.
Then you have to go and get
Disappear.
your sword, don't you?
She can absorb it into
You
it.
can just see a scimitar like.
Like a Jaws fin.
Bye.
Perfect. And there you go. You guys, successful game. Well done. Thank you very much for playing with me.
Thank you very much for
Thank
running it.
you.
It's clear, like the addition of a Hunters Guild is now just like, but it needs new wallpaper and we need to hire an office.
Well-
Successful adventure, and nobody important got killed or hurt.
Well, if you ever fancy another episode, I'd be more than happy to run, and we can pick up from where this left
we
off.
can see what the people think if they would like to see the continuing adventures of the Balderdirk, which is not my real name.
I love it.
Sean and
I love
Badger.
it.
And you got to use your sword, and
Yeah.
you have to get injured at some point because otherwise this seems very unfair.
It's called privilege.
It's called being range DPS, is what it's called.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
And that's it. That's the end of our miniature Dungeons and Dragons adventure with Mark Humes. Would you like to see more things like that? I'd like to do more things like that, so maybe we will. Maybe we can come sort of internet-based arrangement where we make things and then you watch them. I don't know. Anything's possible. But bear in mind, we've got more for you soon. We also recorded on the same day of this us playing a wrestling-based RPG thing, which was amazing. And that'll be a video thing that you can watch in the near future as well. So look forward to that. And yeah, that's it for now. If you don't subscribe to YouTube channel Shut Up and Sit Down, then do that. Also check out Mark Humes' stuff. As you've probably seen by now, he's a nice man. And yeah, cool. Who likes videos? See you soon. Bye.